Hi friends, this is Wendy with Love and Stampin'. I am excited that you're here with me today. This video is going to be a little bit different than my normal videos. I have been getting a few questions on YouTube and just randomly through the years, I've been asked the questions like, what's it like to be a card maker for a career or a livelihood? And so I thought maybe I would just do a series of videos touching on different aspects of that. I've never really seen other card makers do this. I'm sure there's somebody out there that has, and I'm just going to show you some of my processes that I've learned and that I'm trying out since shifting from being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator to a independent influencer, card making influencer, I guess is what we're going to call me. I don't really know. We have talking hands today, as J. Morrell Stewart would say. So anyway, I have some supplies here that I want to go over and I want to show you today because these are kind of my go-to things that I use. Sorry, that's my dog. I have 4 dogs. And they're literally all in the craft room with me right now. So if you hear some rumblings and sounds in the background, that's what it is. So, I want to talk about some of the tools I use to help me stay organized and keep up with what it is that I'm doing, because I find that I still am a paper pen kind of girl, or paper pencil. I struggle really to use all digital. I know some people love everything digital and keep everything digital. I personally don't do that. I keep some things digital, but not everything. So for when it comes to my work and things that need to get done for work, I keep it pen and paper. Okay, so let's get into this. Today I'm going to talk about content creating and planning and that kind of thing. What it takes for me to stay organized and know what kind of content I'm going to produce for you. So the first thing is I want to talk about my planner. So let me get this stuff out of the way and talk about this first, because I think this is like the first important piece before we get further. So this is my planner for 2025. I didn't want to bring my 2024 planner on because it's full of private information and notes. This one hasn't been used yet. But my 2024 planner is the same design as this one, just larger. It's an 8.5 by 11. This is I think this is 7 by 9. I love this size, so I'm really excited to use this size. I felt like the 8.5 by 11 was just a little bit too big. And I'm also sorry, I got interrupted by a dog barking. Okay, so I'm going to show you this. I don't even know what I was saying because this is my life, people. But I'm going to show you this planner. This I get on Amazon. So there's all of these planners out there that are like $50, $60, super expensive, all these accessories. Guys, I've used it all. I used to use Erin Condren. Here, this planner has been my very favorite layout. What I have discovered is that the bigger design, the 8.5 by 11, is just really kind of bulky and too big. And I don't need all this space. So I know what I was going to say earlier. I'm going to be shifting from a process that I do now into a different process when I use this planner, and I'm going to explain that to you. But let me just show you what this planner is like. So when you open it up, you have your month. You've got a page that is your whole month laid out. Then when you go to your pages, you have a whole week, a to-do list section, a goals section, and a notes section. I find this to be incredibly helpful. Like, I can write notes to myself on this side. This is kind of the dream planner that I always wanted. I put my appointments on this side. Sometimes I put things that need to be done that day on this side. I might have an item over here that needs to get done at some point through the week, but not necessarily that day. If it needs to get done that day. So for example, if I have a blog post that's coming out and I need to then share those photos in Facebook groups, I would write it in this section, and so that I know it has to get done that day, because the blog post is going to post, the video is going to post, and then that means that I need to also share photos in all the different Facebook groups. So that is kind of how I use this. I also keep the track of, like, did I go to the gym? You know, do I have an appointment, a doctor's appointment or a dentist appointment? Do I need to pick somebody up from somewhere or take somebody somewhere? Or, you know, my daughter's school stuff, I keep that in here too, you know. Also, I would keep in here, like, I'm the treasurer for our ag boosters. So if we have an ag boosters meeting, anything that is going on in my life that I need to remember to do, I put in here. That I also put in digital. So my family got this app that, well, you could just use it. If you have Apple, it works with your Apple calendar. But we have another calendar called Weekly Cal, and it's all synced. So when I add a appointment, I can choose to add it to the family calendar, and that appointment will show up on everybody's calendar. And we have found that to be very helpful because it lets us know where everybody is at any given time, right? Like, I'm not going to be home because I'm going to go to dinner with my friends or whatever. So anyway, all of that is to say, this is the planner I'm going to use. This is available on Amazon. It's very inexpensive. If you want a really good planner that isn't going to break the bank, I highly suggest getting this one. I love the size. So it's just very simple. And then in the back, it's got this whole note it section, and there's like a lot of space for notes. Okay. So I think that's really cool also. And it's perforated so you can tear the page out, which I really like. Okay. And then it's got this cool little pocket in the front, double-sided pocket. So if you need that, it's got a calendar for the whole 2025 and 2026. So I think it covers all the bases. It's got yearly goals here. I don't use this page, but you know, if you wanted to, you could. And then it also has important dates to remember here. I thought about maybe like sketching out some rough plans about things I want to have on my channel and my blog and stuff in this area through the year, reminders and stuff, but I tend not to go back and look at stuff like this. So I don't know if I'll actually use it. And then it's got, for some reason, July 2024, and then it's got December 2024. So this is kind of cool because if you were like wanting to start using this, you could just start using it in December if you wanted to. So anyway, I will link to this below the video so that you guys can grab yours if you want one. Obviously, you don't have to be a card maker to use this. This is handy for all kinds of things. So here's the process while we're talking about this. I just need a sticky note to cover some of my notes here really quick because some of the stuff I have, I don't want to share. Okay. So let me just do that really quick. Okay. So this is the system I have been using to write my content, meaning when I need to post something, where, at what time. So you can see for November, I haven't even filled it out yet, and we're almost in November. So what I have to do here is go through and write out all of my content ideas for the month of November, what kind of videos I'm going to be filming, and stuff like that. So for example, this video is going to come out on, what's today? Yeah, this video is going to come out on Friday, November 1st. So when you see this, it'll be Friday, November 1st. So right here, I would write like planner / sketch video. And then that would let me know, I already know I have to create a blog post. I have to create some social media around that. There's lots of different things I have to create, but this is just kind of like a super high overview. So I usually sit and spend some hours creating my content for the month. And I do that first. The first thing I do is I plug in any content I need to create for any companies. So for example, you see Misty right here. Misty is, I've been working with My Sweet Petunia for a long time now. And so this is the date that they have assigned me to have a blog post up on their channel. So I know that on November 19th, I need to have something for that day for My Sweet Petunia. So I just write Misty. So that's one of my commitments. I also am a design team member for Pear Blossom Press. So for Pear Blossom Press, they like their videos to come out on the 28th of the month from me. So I try to make that happen. So I would just put Pear Blossom Press PBP. So I know I have a video that needs to come out on the 28th of the month. I also have my creative inspiration calendar. If you're not familiar with that, that is a calendar that I email out to you for free every single month. Anybody who joins my email list gets that every single month. So I know that that has to go out, and maybe I need to, you know, talk about it in a video, create something, but this is just like that high overview of any content that I need to create. Okay. So I will just go through this calendar and I will do that. I also have Pajama Crafter stamps. I work with them on a guest designing basis. And so they have a release coming out sometime in November. I can't remember when. So I will create a video for Pajama Crafter stamps. So like I could probably just plug it in here on the 21st, and I'll just write Pajama Crafter. Now I haven't decided like what exactly I'm going to do. Am I going to do a fun fold? Am I going to do techniques? What am I going to do? I don't know yet, but these are just literally like, I have these commitments that have to be met. I know I've got some blog hops and Instagram hops and different things like that. So I'll just go through and I'll plug all that in. Then once I've done that, I will go through and I will start trying to think of techniques, ideas, fun folds, whatever it is, and then I might make a little note. So this is what I've done for this pretty much most of this year, starting in, I guess I started doing this in like May or June, and I'm going to move away from using this on the clipboard, and what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to put it in here. So I'm going to have, because what I'm trying to do is have less things, right? I don't want to carry this and this and this and this. Like I don't want to have a whole bunch of stuff that I have to carry around. So I was thinking, why not use this space for that? I could use this entire thing as my content creation calendar, because frankly, I don't really use it for anything else because I put my appointment stuff on these pages. So this way I could just turn to this open space, put all my content here, and then it's all in one place instead of having this and this, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it in the new year to move to using this for my content creation so that we've got everything in the same place. I'm hoping I'll be able to do it. This has somewhat worked for me. The only problem is these are little bitty squares. Sometimes I have a lot to write and it can get a little messy. So, and also it gives me one more thing I have to carry around, because I often will carry this stuff from my office, which is a building outside of my home, into my home and then back to my office. Because let's say I want to go just sit in the house and work on content creation or whatever, and I don't want to be in my office during that time, then I will take everything with me and go do that. So having less things to transport would help. So there's that. So then this is the next thing that I wanted to show you. And this is going to be, I'm going to start using this month. This is an absolutely beautiful tool. So it comes in this box. This is from Trinity Stamps. And I showed this very quickly in a haul video, but I really want to show it to you better. So this is what I'm going to start using to help me with my content creation, because a lot of times I'll have ideas and I won't write them down anywhere, or I will forget and it just kind of leaves me. So here's my plan for the new year, especially, is I will have these 2 items that will go with me. I can take these out on the boat with me when I go to the lake. I can take these to Starbucks with me if I just want to sit in Starbucks. I can, it's just 2 things that I have, because also, guys, I have a whole nother notebook that I take with me everywhere. That's why I really like this. I'm going to start trying to use this area for my notes. So again, everything in one place. I mean, probably even going to make myself a sticky note that says everything in one place to remind myself, stick to these items. So Trinity gifted this to me, Tanisa from Trinity Stamps. The cost of this is $49.99. So if you want one of these, it is $49.99. I will link it below. It is incredible. I haven't started sketching in it yet, but I want to get, I'm going to show you my old sketchbook, and you're going to see why this is going to be so much better. Okay, so before we get into this, I want to show you my old sketchbook. This is a beautiful book. It's like a linen bound. I really love this book, but it just doesn't provide, this is an Archer and Olive. These are very pricey. So I would like to actually use this for learning to do some, I originally got this, not for sketching. I originally got this to practice my calligraphy type writing in, and I never did it. So, maybe I will. So this is why this sketchbook, it doesn't work for me. Okay. One is I don't like the binding because it's hard to get it to lay all the way flat. But I had to measure out to make this accurate, I had to measure it out. Then it bothered me that one card used one whole page, okay? So then I started doing this, where I would sketch out little bitty cards with all these notes. These aren't to scale, obviously. And I don't know, it just feels messy. It feels difficult. See here, I didn't even finish it out. All my ideas in here. Most of these cards I've made. So these are like old sketches, but I just didn't really like I don't like how messy this is. So it's fine. There's nothing horrible about this. If this is all if all you have is just any old notebook, use it. But let me show you this. First of all, it comes with this stencil, which I absolutely love, because then when you're sketching, you can add these basic shapes that we use on cards into the sketch. And then it also has this ruler, which I think is super cool. So these are A2 sketches. So the tabs have different size sketches. So there's A2, A7, which is a 5x7, mini, slimline, and other sketches. So check it out. They're done for you, right? The space is done for you. There's a place for notes. I can write what my project is for. And here I'm going to write the date it's due, versus like today's date. I would write the date that this idea is due. And then it has this color palette thing, which I love. I think that is amazing. So super cool to come up with all of these. And then look, so this page is vertical. The next page is horizontal. So it's like you have both layout options, right? Like here, I have both layout options. And there's tons of pages of this. So I cannot wait to use this. Okay, then like A7, same thing. You've got the horizontal and the vertical. These are a little bit bigger. Then you've got mini slimline. Same thing, double-sided, regular slimline. This actually has both directions on the same page. And then there is a blank spot in the back for you to just make whatever sketches you want. Now let's go back to this front page and let's just do a quick sketch. So I have this really cute Trinity stamp set. So let me grab the stamp set for you because I want to make a card with this. Okay, so this is such an adorable stamp set and I'm excited to make a card with it. So there's all these little penguins and an igloo, and then it has die cuts. So for this, because of the size of the igloo, and one of the things that this does is here, it also gives you all of your mat sizes, okay, for your card. So that's helpful also. So the outside edge of here would be like a 4.25 by 5.5 inch card. Okay. So, where am I? I lost my paper here. Hold on one second. Okay, so let's say I'm trying to think of how I would make a card, and I wanted to do like a 1-layer scene card. I might have, actually I have an idea for this, but anyways, so I might have the igloo down here, and I'm a horrible, like, you'll understand why I make cards when you see this, because I'm horrible at sketching, like drawing. I'm horrible at it. So I'll have like, here's my little igloo. I'm not gonna like try to draw it. I don't care about that. I'm staying inside this outer line here because to me, this is my 4 by 5.25 line. So I'm gonna have that there. And then I'm gonna have like, I'm gonna draw like a little hill. And then I've got my little fella ice fishing here. So I might put, or, you know, we got the guy with the popsicle, come on. And then this guy just got his goodies from the cafe. This is the Frostbite Cafe. So maybe I'll put my little, like, and this is literally how I sketch. Okay. There's my little coffee cup guy here. I'll put him there. And then, maybe in the background, I would have like another hill or something, and I'll have another little guy maybe here that has like the popsicle. And then I would write myself notes about the colors and all the things that I would want to do with this layout. So it might be like, maybe it would be, well, if it's a 1-layer scene card, so I would say like 1-layer scene card. And then I would do like, maybe I would try to draw in trees, use my Copics to like make trees back here or something. And then I would put like snowy background, trees, Copics. So this is just a very rough idea. Truthfully, there's nothing like springing out to me right at this very moment. So what happens for me a lot of times is I have these like creative spurts where I just have all these ideas and I'll write out a whole bunch of ideas at one time. That's just how it works for me. I don't know if everybody's like that, but for me personally, when I am in a creative streak, it like is nonstop. I call it a download, and I literally feel like, I guess it's God, like downloading creativity to me and ideas. And it's just like, it's constant. In fact, I have a hard time sleeping when I have one of those, and it can go on for several nights in a row, where it's like all kinds of creative ideas, content I could create, card ideas I could create, things I could make, business ideas, and it's just overwhelming. And I get those downloads is what I call them. And then I could, do 2 or 3, 4, 5 pages of these things when I'm having a download. But then when I'm not in that space, like right now, my brain's not in that space at this very moment. So I'm just not, you can't just force it, that is the one thing about doing this for a living that can be challenging, is like, if you have a job that you get up and you go punch a clock to do, that job is usually got systems, and you get up and you go do the job and you come home. When you do creative work for a living, you have to rely on your creative brain fueling you and providing you content or providing you ideas. And sometimes it doesn't. So when I have those times where I have a whole bunch of ideas, something like this is going to be life-changing, because I feel like I'll just be able to fill it up with ideas, and then I can come back and revisit it. This also works into the whole content creation thing, because, for example, let's say I wanted to do a video for you guys on 4 fun fold card ideas or something like that. Then I could write here project 4, and then I could write out fun fold video, and for this date, and then this date. And then I would write that, maybe make an arrow down here that shows that that's, the next however many cards are going to be for that purpose. And I would write out all my measurements and everything. I have a gift of being able to like visualize like a fun fold, and I know the measurements so well at this point that unless it's a very complicated idea, I can usually write it all out before I even do it as a prototype. So anyway, that's what this video was for, was just to share a little inside peek of what it's like to be a content creator for card making. I have no idea what anybody else's process is like. This is just my process. I have to start with what I call my skeleton calendar, which is this, which tells me all of the stuff I have that is like due to somebody, right? Like I have a responsibility to get a video out. I also put my Creative Vault membership stuff in here. On Thursdays, I go live in my Creative Vault. We have craft alongs, and then we also have live classes every month. And so like these 2 days will be my Creative Vault live class. Speaking of which, shameless plug, if you want to sign up for the Creative Vault, you can get it for 21 days free. I'll link it below. So all my content will kind of go on this, and then I work from this to add it. So this would help me build this, right? So I would go, okay, I need a pajama crafter stamps video. So then I would look at the stamp sets I have to use, and I will put them in. I'll show you what I do. Ouch. I put them in these job ticket holder things. These are really thick, heavy plastic. So like if I know, okay, I'm going to create with this, I'm going to put it in here, and I'll take a Post-it note a mini one and I'll put it on here and I'll write whatever date that this is due by. And then I might have a whole stack of these with different stamp sets. And then I will grab these and use them as I go through creating my content. Now, this is what happens in a perfect month. In a not so perfect month, I'm just, you know, on a wing and a prayer. That happens a lot too. But there are plenty of months where I do have, especially, I might not have the whole month, but I might have weeks where I'm doing really well and I have a whole bunch of these ready to go with product in it, with a date, and I know this is what I'm using, it's for this date, and then I work off of that. So I hope this was interesting to you. If you are a content creator for card making, maybe this helped you. You know, there's a lot of us and not a lot of us. So, I mean, you know, I hope it helped you to some degree. I love this beautiful sketchbook from Trinity Stamps. I have linked to it below the video. And I am really excited to use this. And as I use it through the year, I'm going to start using it now, but as I use it, I'll try to show it to you guys so you can see it all marked up and all the fun things I did in it and stuff like that. And then again, this is the planner I use. And so, yeah, that's it. I just wanted to share a little piece of what it's like to be a content creator. Oh, this is what I use for sketching. These are Ticonderoga pencils. These are my favorite pencils in the entire world. They are amazing. I just love them. So you know, just saying, I love an old fashioned number 2 style pencil, and Ticonderogas are the best. So I'll link to these also because you can buy them like in a big old box for pretty cheap. So anyway, and if you need a teacher gift or your kids need pencils, I'm telling you, these are the best. Okay, so I think that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, a little bit different, hoping to give you some insight and answer a few questions for those of you who have asked. And I will catch you in the next video. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.